Louisiana Beer Reviews meets again with Indiana, the Indiana Beer Empire, John Sharon. Welcome, John.
Hey, how's it going?
Fine. And I called it the Indiana Beer Empire. That's a good name.
That's a good name.
Today we're looking at a beer from one of the beer empires, Red Dog. And you had that beer sent to you, correct? You weren't able to get it.
No, you can't get it around here. I got it from Scott White. Sent this to me.
Okay, that was nice of him to do that. We still get it here. In my town, we get the cans, usually 16-ounce cans. And if I go into the city near New Orleans, we can get them the 12-pack bottles.
Yeah.
You said you did some research. Now, what did you find out?
I found out that it was introduced in 1994.
Correct.
And it was produced by Miller Brewing Company, part of the Plank Road Brewing family. It's a 5% alcohol. Red Dog was introduced in 94 and is brewed with 2 barley malts, 5 varieties of American hops.
Right, 2 barley malts and 5 hops. Now, you said 5%.
That's what it says here.
I was checking the Miller Coors website a little while ago, and they're saying 4.8.
4.8.
Yeah, I think they had done an adjustment possibly. I believe it was 5 at one time, but they're saying 4.8 now, and I think 147 calories. But that's pretty. That's average for American adjunct lager, huh?
They say the Plank Road Brewing Company was named for Frederick Miller's first brew house in the 19th century.
Right, on the Plank Road in Milwaukee.
Yeah, they say now it's currently price segment between Miller High Life and Milwaukee's Best.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Now, when it first came out, it was at the premium level, up there with Miller Genuine Draft, but for whatever reason, they dropped it down to the economy segment. They never changed the recipe, I don't believe. Their tagline is uncommonly smooth, and that is what I have encountered over the years of drinking Red Dog. It was uncommonly smooth. It's the 20th anniversary of it, and it might be the final call. 2014 might be the final call for Red Dog.
Yeah, the bottle still says premium beer.
Yeah, well.
Back in 1994, that was a premium beer.
Right. A premium beer at the actual premium market level.
Yeah.
I think it has been it might be discontinued, okay? I hope not, but I think it could be. It's not widely available. They barely featured on their website now, but it has done well at competition since 1995 up until 2010. It won 2 bronze, 2 silver, and 7 gold medals at the World Beer Cup and Great American Beer Festival. So that's not too shabby.
That's not shabby.
Of course, if you look on Rate Beer, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I haven't looked on Rate Beer at it, but I'm sure it probably is.
Oh yeah, it'd be something like a 1 out of 100, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, that's because you got so many beer snobs that's rating stuff like this, like I'm drinking. So.
Right. I can understand when people would say something like it's ordinary or it's kind of dull, something like that. But when you're giving it a 1 out of 100, that's starting to get a little too ridiculous, don't you think?
Yes, I think so.
Let me see real fast if I can look that up, just for curiosity's sake. What are you getting on the? Well, I didn't get much of a head, but it fizz right away. There's a little bit left. It's really bubbly though. There's a lot of bubble streams, and it's golden. Golden.
I got better lacing in my bottle than I do in my glass.
That's funny. What are you getting on the aroma?
I think it's got a good aroma to it. I mean, it's see, I'm on Rate Beer right now, and overall they give it a 0.
A 0. Wow. And they're saying awful and awful on Beer Advocate. No shock. No shock.
Yeah. On Rate Beer, it's got an average of a 1.3 to a 2.5. I think it smells like an old red beer from the early '90s. What's that? I was trying to sit here and think a while ago. What's that one beer that's still available? It's a red beer.
I know there's a Rock Red that's very rare, and there's they used to make Red Wolf. That didn't last.
That's the one I was thinking of, Red Wolf. They don't make that anymore, do they?
No, that's been gone. That's been gone for 15 years or more.
Yeah.
I like this aroma because it's really you really get a good pickup in your nose. I'm getting some really what you say, pungent and semi-sweet barley malt.
Yes.
There's almost a dough character there.
Yeah, I can smell that.
I guess it's made with corn adjunct, but I'm not picking up any corn, to tell you the truth.
No.
It's kind of roasted. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you remember the old Meisterbrau.
Yes. Yep. I've drank a few Meisterbrau in my day.
I always thought Meisterbrau had this roasted thing going, which might have turned some people off because, you know, there's kind of an old style lager, and by the mid-'90s, what was everybody drinking? Light beers that really didn't have much character, right? Well, I guess we better get to the taste. What do you think?
Yes.
Cheers. Clink.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Full flavored lager.
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
It's medium bodied beer. Pretty.
It's got body to it, and it's got those roasted malts. You know, they use the two different malts, and there's some sweetness. Oh boy, it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I knew somebody would call. There's a hop presence, but you know, naturally it's
kind of got a grain malt aroma to it.
Oh, a congressman, you know, one of those recorded messages. Yeah, they really want to hang out with me on their so-called town meeting. Yeah, all right. Anyway, back to this. Sorry about that. It's like I guess the IBUs must be pretty low, right? But there is a hop presence to sort of round it out. You go along with it?
Yeah, there's a small hop in it.
Certainly not a hoppy beer by any stretch, but there is something there.
They're calling it's 5% ABV.
Where are you looking at?
I'm on Rate Beer, 5% ABV.
Yeah, but Rate Beer, you know, that could be really old information. If you look on the Miller Coors website, which I was on right when actually I'm looking at it. I have it right here, Miller Coors. You see, they're not even showing Rate Beer on their little. They show a bunch of bottles lined up.
Yeah.
Cans of Rate Beer is not there. You got to go down to the list down here where it says. Yeah. But it's on there still. It says. They even show a Miller Chill. You know, Miller Chill. If you see any of that in the store, that's left over from late 2013.
I had one till about 6 months ago and drank it.
A Miller Chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all right, I guess. If you look on it where it says nutrition and codes,
yeah,
it's saying let me click on domestic beers. It's saying Red Dog 4.8%, and it says it on their blog too, the Miller blog 4.8, and it's 147 calories. That's not a big difference.
I was on an old website looking at old beers, so it probably come up to me as like when it was first made. So that's where I got my 5%. So they may have dropped it down a little bit.
Yeah, and for Coors Banquet they're saying 4.9, but I always was under the impression Coors Banquet was 5.
Yeah.
And they're saying Coors Extra Gold is 5, and I thought Coors Extra Gold was 5.5. But anyway, shows you what I know. But
like Banquet's a good beer. The Coors Banquet.
I always did like Banquet.
Yeah.
Banquet and Red Dog, those are the type of beers that you're not supposed to like.
Yeah.
You can get called out for liking a beer like this.
Sure you can.
And
now, do you remember? Do you remember Coors when it first come out, and you had to punch the tops in on it?
No, because it wasn't even sold around here.
It was.
I don't guess.
Yeah, it was only sold out what, east or west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
When it first come out, it come out in a can, had 2 punch cans. They had a punch can to drink and a punch can for the air.
That's a good idea. No, actually, Coors Banquet was not sold east of the Mississippi River until 1981. And you know what the last state was to have Coors available in that state?
What's that?
Indiana, 1991. No joke.
Oh, really?
For whatever reason, I guess the distributors in Indiana did not want Coors coming in, and so they just boxed it out until 23 short years ago. It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Now, you see, I live right next to the Mississippi River, so we get a lot of West Bank, East Bank differences, okay? Like I said, Coors wasn't available east of the river until 81.
Yeah.
But New Orleans has the river cutting through it. So before 1981, you might have been able to go to the west side of New Orleans and get Coors. But the eastern part, no.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Same thing with yeah, that's right.
So I guess what they're calling Coors Banquet now is the old original Coors, right?
Correct. Banquet is sort of like an unofficial name, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Coors. It's Coors. The beer is Coors.
Yeah.
But it's like Coors, a banquet beer, whatever.
Yeah.
And they don't even know why they call it that. Even the company says, we don't know why it's called that, but they presume people drink it at banquets a lot.
Yeah.
Out in Colorado. Now, this Red Dog has like you said, has some body to it. You know, it's not a heavy beer at all, but
it's probably a medium bodied.
And the finish is pretty snappy and enjoyable, wouldn't you say?
I would, yeah.
There's nothing off about this beer.
No.
But
there's probably nobody else going to do a beer review on this tonight.
No, I don't think they will. It was $8.99 for the 12-pack when I bought it.
I don't know what I traded him some Sam Adams for it that he didn't have and he wanted, and I said, he hit me up, asked me if I wanted it, and I said sure. So
they've got 6-packs of pints around here for $4.99. I'm eating some Lay's barbecue kettle cooked chips, and I think Red Dog goes well with stuff like that.
Sure it does. But I can remember drinking this stuff back in. I thought it was out in the early '90s, but I guess mid '90s when it come out. But I can remember drinking a ton of that. That's about the time Ice House come out.
Yeah, Ice House came out in '93.
And Killian's Irish Red, remember that?
Remember it? I saw it at the store today.
It's you can buy it a few places right here, but not very many.
It's pretty common down here. And another thing that's common down here is Killian's Irish Stout.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's pretty, you know, people say, that's Coors. I'll tell you one thing, that stout from Killian's has got a lot of character, and it's got some heft to it. I mean, it's a great introductory beer into that craft beer style, you know.
We'll get it. You're fine. Yeah.
I think Red Dog, really, in my opinion, is one of the better beers Miller makes. Look how many awards it's won.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, I mean, it's a great beer. I wish it was more readily available around here. We can't get it here, so.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I agree, and I'm running through my head all these other common American style lagers, like I'm thinking of Budweiser, Busch, Miller Genuine Draft, Miller High Life, Coors Banquet, uh, Hams, and a bunch of others. And I really think I would rather drink Red Dog than all the ones I named because I think it's a little bit better.
Yeah, it's got a lot more. It's got a little bit more of a bite with a good finish to it. To me, Coors is water. I like the Banquet. If I'm gonna drink beer, if I'm gonna drink Coors, I'm gonna drink the Banquet.
Oh yeah, I thought you're talking about the light Coors Light.
Yeah, but if you're gonna drink the Coors or the Coors Light, I think there's a difference in the Banquet and the Coors.
No, there's Coors Banquet, which is Coors.
Yeah.
Then there's Coors Light, which came out in 1978, and then there's that Extra Gold, which I'm not quite sure when that came out, 1988. And that one's got a little bit more heft to it. It used to be cold filtered. They were trying to compete with Genuine Draft, but they gave up on that. But I think the Coors Extra Gold is the best of the three.
See, I've not drank that for, God, I don't know how many years. So you can't get the Extra Gold around here.
Neither here. Try to find Extra Gold. That's like trying to find the Holy Grail or something.
We was down at Gatlinburg about 3 years ago, and I was at a convenience store and seen Pabst Blue Ribbon Extra Light.
What?
Well, I'm still kicking myself in the butt to this day, wishing I'd bought some of that and never did.
Extra Light?
Yeah.
That's what it was called?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have gone berserk if I'd have seen. See, Pabst Brewing Company is so strange. They put out brands that they're not even aware that they own, I think. You know, it's like Pabst Brewing Company makes so many brands, and like you're saying, this off-the-wall thing, Pabst Extra Light. I'm telling you, I think they make beers they don't even know they have.
Yeah.
And there's like this real exotic Pabst beer that is sold in China, and it's like $50 a bottle. It's some kind of
I've seen that.
Ultra gourmet Pabst beer. I mean, it's really strange, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, you might walk in a store one day and say, what is this? Schlitz Ice. But that's not made anymore. But, you know, it might still. They had some people saying, yeah, I saw Schlitz Ice in the store. Well, apparently that's not been made for 4 years, but who knows? You might see it. It's really.
It's kind of made it. Schlitz has kind of made it come back around here. You can actually buy it in a few bars in Louisville and eateries in Louisville.
Yeah, it's not the case here. They sell Schlitz. You'll only see it around here, really, in my town, in the 6-packs of pints. If you go into the city, you'll see the 6-packs of 12-ounce cans and the 24 packs of 12-ounce cans. The bottles have been discontinued around here. I don't know why Schlitz didn't do well out here. I think, you know, I'm talking about Red Dog. I think Schlitz can go toe-to-toe at Red Dog. It's one of the few that can really, of the class, that can Red Dog.
Yeah.
So, you would recommend Red Dog to others, huh?
I would. For people that can get it. If not, you got to trade for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna say it's good enough to go spend money through getting it through the mail or something.
Yeah.
But if somebody happens to run across it, don't pass it up because you may never see it again. Same thing with Coors Extra Gold. If I see it and I have to buy a 30-pack, I'm buying the 30-pack.
Yeah.
And here's another one that's really not that good at all, but it's Keystone Premium. You know the red can?
Let's see. Look at here.
Yeah, that's the really that was really common.
Yeah.
But try to find that red can.
You can't.
You can barely find the ice.
Yeah.
They don't sell the Keystone Ice around here anymore because the distributor told me. I talk to distributors all the time. He said nobody would buy it.
See, you can buy it. Chuck, my buddy, just said you can buy Keystone Ice around here.
It's been gone from my area for over a year.
Really? But I've got a but I've got a Keystone, a half a can sign. And it's red. It's the only one I've ever seen.
Last time I saw Keystone Premium was 3 years ago in some obscure little store on an old obscure highway in Texas. No joke.
But I think from now on, every time I see these little obscure beers, I'm gonna start buying them up.
I am too, because you just don't know.
You're not gonna see them again.
Yeah, and I can think of a lot, that I would like to get a hold of when I go on some trips this year. I was down in Texas and I picked up some stuff, that I knew I'd never see again, at least around here. Out in Texas, like I picked up St. Ides.
Yeah.
They haven't had St. Ides high gravity malt liquor in Louisiana since about 1998. You know what I'm talking about, St. Ides?
Yeah. But I can still remember the days of like Little Kings and cream ale.
Oh, yeah. Now, you see, from last time I checked, they have Little Kings in Houston.
Oh, you can't get Little Kings where you're at?
No. I've never seen it in Louisiana in my life.
Oh, really?
Can't get Genesee. Can't get Yingling.
See, we can't get Yingling around here. But see, Genesee, you can't. I don't think you can buy Genesee in Indiana. You can get it in Kentucky, I do know.
The closest we get Genesee is Florida, and the closest we get Yingling is Mobile, Alabama. Yingling.
We can get it in Ohio or Tennessee as close as we can get it.
They were going to bring Yingling in January of 2013.
Yeah.
Never showed up.
Well, see, when they bought that old Coors Brewing down there, where was that, Nashville? It was supposed to come up this way, but it never has made it yet.
Well, I didn't understand, because they were telling me Yingling's coming. It never showed up. I asked the distributors. I said, come over here in private. I said, what's going on? What's the story with Yingling? He said, well, I'll tell you what happened. He said Budweiser, Miller, and Coors got together and said it ain't coming to Louisiana. And they kept it out.
Oh, no.
It's like they got together in a collusion and said, let's all agree that none of us will bring it in. And they couldn't get a distributor for it. That's crookedness, but that's what they did.
Yeah. Now, have you ever had the Yingling Black and Tan?
I love that stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's the best one they make, I think.
Oh, yeah.
When I go on these road trips, I see stuff and I'm pulling them off the shelf, When I went up to the East Coast last year, I drove all the way to Boston to go see the Red Sox, and I was pulling all kind of stuff off the shelf. Should have seen my trunk on the way home. Oh, yeah, it was exciting. But anyway, well, I guess we've covered the bases. We don't want to bore the world, although it's not boring to talk about it. I think Red Dog is good. I would give it a high score for American-style lager.
I would.
A lot of people misinterpret, when we're talking about this, that we're trying to say that it's as good as St. Bernardus, Abbott 12, and West Fletcher. We're not comparing those. Those are two different genres, right?
Yes, they're two different beers, yeah.
It'd be like if you and I were talking about Dodge cars, and somebody said, well, what are you trying to say? It's a Lamborghini?
No.
No, we're talking about Dodge passenger cars. We're not talking about Lamborghini. We're not talking even about Cadillacs.
No.
It's a different class, and that has to be taken into account, yeah. I think. I mean, I could talk for we could talk for a long time about light beer.
Yeah.
And that's not a class that I think you or I are fans of, really.
But what I mean, I like doing these off the wall things because I think it's good to keep the heritage of these old beers going.
I agree. And it's also good to kind of helps put things in perspective, right? It's like, yeah, we love craft beer. Hell, I just drank one earlier, and it was awesome beer.
Yeah.
But every movie is not Citizen Kane. Sometimes you just want to watch Godzilla.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it all, like, there used to be a guy that did beer reviews, and he would talk about such and such beer has its place, and he would talk about how different beers fit into a certain place, and I like that. And Tom Beer Whisperer kind of talks about that a little bit too.
Yeah.
How they have a place, and I like that idea. He was doing the Mexican beers the last couple of days, and
yeah,
he pointed out some good things about those beers. He was saying no, Dos Equis is not fabulous or anything, but he was saying Cinco de Mayo and things like that, it really does do the trick.
Yeah.
So, and for hot dogs and chili, Red Dog does the trick, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, it definitely does. There'd be nothing better than mustard hot dog with a Red Dog.
Boy, you got it. So anyway, thank you, world, for watching this video production. And to end this, if anybody has any comments about Red Dog, I would love to see them, because that's the best thing about doing the videos, is that you read what other people say about it.
Sure.
So thank you, folks.